Yeah, man. We got a special one. We got a special one in the building, man. Welcome to G.Bush Live. It's your boy G.Bush, man. We got a special guest in the spot, man. This guy I was on, he gracefully and graciously had me on his joint, his YouTube, his live, Cowboys for Life. And, I just got back a chance to link up with him again, man. This dude really one of the biggest Cowboys fans in the game. And you know how we give it up on G.Bush Live. We don't just talk about sports in a local city. We get to talk to everybody around the country. Solid dude, man. I'm going to introduce my boy. It's your boy Syd in the building from Cowboys for Life. What's going on, Syd, man? What's up, man?
Yeah, man. Thanks, G.Bush, man. Thanks for having me on the show, man. And you touched on something that yes, as you guys see, Dallas Cowboys. I'm a huge Dallas Cowboy fan, but on my show, Speak Your Mind all the time, I have I'm versatile, man. I bring everybody on my show from Eagles fans to Giants fans to, Browns fans. And I like to keep it versatile, and I like to have different genres on my channel. And of course, I get together with my Cowboys family, a nation, and we get together and we chop it up as well. So definitely, thank you for having me on my show. Please go check out my channel, Dallas Cowboys, the #4 Life. And those of you who are on my channel, definitely go check G.Bush, man. His information is also in my description box. So definitely be sure to check that out.
Yeah, and we want to salute everybody over there, Cowboys for Life. We are streaming right now on the barbershop. We are also streaming simultaneously on Cowboys for Life. So shout out to everybody who's watching over there. And we got a great show to chop it up with you guys today, man. A lot of things going on right now, Syd. We got, the situation out here where, the schedule is coming out. We got the thumbnail out, and, that's always something. We kind of covered that yesterday on this channel. The Browns perspective, but excited about the 2021 schedule. We excited. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. You guys are in the news a lot too. Dak Prescott. I haven't talked to you since the injury happened. He's got signed again. Injury. He got the big deal. Now you guys go get Micah Parsons, right? You got everything moving for you. And you guys are looking at the schedule. You got about 5 primetime games, but y'all is the Cowboys. Y'all got the star on for a reason, right?
We keep the lights on, man. That's how I look at that situation.
That's the first thing you said. I told her we coming for that position. We want to be America's team. We got to win these games though. But we got a lot of hype coming into the 2021 season. So we'll get into that also. Let's get right off into it. In terms of the Cowboys last year. We were on your show, and what do you think, and kind of just catching us up, what do you think about the way the season ended? Some good, some bad, some indifferent, and what did you see going, kind of tailing off at the end of last year, moving into the off season?
Listen, last year, and a lot of people, what made me angry last year is everybody's like, oh, the Dallas Cowboys suck, and the Dallas Cowboys are supposed to be America's team, and guys, you have to keep in mind, we were San Francisco was the #1 team for injuries last year. Dallas was the #2 most injured squad. Our offensive line was injured. Our defense was like atrocious. We went through 4 QBs last year. Not 1, not 2, 4 QBs last year. And then Dak's injury. I remember that injury like it was yesterday. When they showed his foot being the other way, my heart crumbled. For that moment, I honestly nearly cried, man, because I was like, whoa, we hadn't signed Dak. We had franchise tagged him. And I said, what does this say about the future to the Dallas Cowboys? So in the game against you guys, I don't know if you guys remember, it was a close game, but you guys, what was our most, that game, I remember it like it was yesterday. We couldn't stop the run.
Yeah,
and that's something. Yeah, that's something we couldn't do last year. And I'm hoping by the moves that we make this year, bringing in Dan Quinn, having Michael Parsons, I hope that's going to make a difference. I'm not saying Michael Parsons is the answer to our defense, because obviously we have to make some adjustments. But I'm hoping that he's definitely going to bring a difference. He's going to be a run stopper. Definitely, Randy Gregory is in there. I just want a healthy Dallas Cowboys team this year.
I think that's one of the things when we look at the Cleveland Browns. I always tell people, look, we're just trying to be healthy. Like, yeah, we got a lot of guys, but there's a lot of guys on our roster from OBJ to Clowney to individuals like Greedy Williams, Grant Delpit, guys that are, injured, right? Coming back and potentially trying to get back healthy. That's the biggest thing that I always talk about is the health. You don't know who's going to be injured on your team. You just have to take into account that it's going to happen. That's part of the game. And for me, I remember that game like it was yesterday, because to me, when you had me on last year, I love those marquee games. I love them games where you get an opportunity to go down to Dallas. You don't see the matchups like that often. And when we went down there, the Browns came out like gangbusters. Like they came out. It was out the chutes. However, when you look at it, one of our problems last year was defense. I'm looking around like, listen, we susceptible in the back end, bro. Like they got ball players that can throw the ball. They got guys that get vertical. The Browns did enough to stop the run, but then that made you guys pass the rock, and boy, y'all was explosive. Y'all victimized us going down in the third and fourth quarter. Lucky we were ahead enough to get, keep that game under wraps. But you, like you said, defense was your main issue in terms of being able to stop the run. Kareem Hunt, Chubb. We even had
Chubb was dangerous. Like, all right, listen, I was cursing his name for days. I'm like, can somebody please just take him out? Injure him, like do something. Like all we needed was. We just couldn't stop him, man. He's a beast, and I'm curious to see what he's going to do for you guys this year.
Going back to Dak a little bit, you watching Dak Prescott and you watching the Cowboys closely. Around the country, there's always seeming to be this thing where people are like, Dak Prescott, we don't understand if he's going to be a superstar. We don't know if he's a top 10 quarterback. Is he worth that type of money? You watching, the Cowboys and being tapped into the Cowboys nations, what do you guys think about the whole negotiation with Dak Prescott and where he stands in that kind of pecking order? And if he's the guy that you guys need to go to the next level, because a lot of people in the national media always seem to question that, always seem to bring that up.
Listen, it's not just about Dak. It's about the Dallas Cowboys in general. It's either you like the Dallas Cowboys or you hate the Dallas Cowboys. So there's nobody who's in between, right? Dallas Cowboys are the number one hated team across the nation.
I would say being in Cleveland, I would say it's between you and the Patriots. Now, in the Patriots,
the Patriots when Brady was there.
Yeah, right. They lost their sting a little bit. Now we like whatever. We don't. That's not a marquee matchup game. Go ahead, man.
As for Dak, is he worth 160 mil? 100%. Listen, if you look at Dak from when he started, fourth round QB, and number 4, he just yesterday. I don't know if you saw the news. He's the 4th highest paid athlete right now in the world. That's crazy.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah,
that's so crazy.
And so for me, 4. And I think, listen, when it comes to Dak, he's a team player. He's a leader. First one in, last one out. He's missed one practice in his whole career, with the Dallas Cowboys. He's definitely seeing what I saw from the team last year when he got injured, not just the team, the fans, and how much I don't know if you follow Twitter, but even other players from other teams were wishing Dak the best.
Yeah.
And, that just goes to show how much respect that this guy has in the industry. So is Dak our guy? I always said it, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I see Dak going to the Hall of Fame. Everybody's like, oh, it's kind of early no, because he has that potential to be one of the greats. In the games that he played last year, he was putting up over 500 yards.
Yeah, when you look at it, I remember us specifically talking about this. He came off a game where I think your third receiver or something that had 100 yards or something. And it was like I'm like, who is this guy getting 100 yards against Seattle? I'm like, Dak Prescott was putting up like over almost 300-400 yards in the air every single game. And I'm like, he's lit right now. Like in terms of what you got offensively, but that injury happened, and it kind of are you a little worried? Like, do you hold your breath now? Do you, when you see him the first time out there, are you like?
Yeah, you know what? I said this on my previous streams, and I'll say it again. Dak, that first hit is going to be needed. He's going to have to get that first hit. He's going to look down at his ankles. Okay, you know what? I'm good.
Yeah, right.
And then it's just get back into that groove, right? He's going to have some rust. He's going to be scared. I don't think we'll see Dak running the ball like he says he'll still do it. But he's going to be smart enough. He's not going to going to run with the ball on first down. You know what? But he did say, if it's a playoff game, if it means us making, the Super Bowl, whatever the case may be, I'm going to damn right I'm going to run that ball. I just think he's going to be smarter about it, and I just want to see Dak sliding this year. Please slide. That's all I want.
The game of football is so crazy because you just mentioned running the ball, right? And you guys have a lot of high-priced guys, right? You got Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
You got you got a guy in the backfield who was the leader of the team, who was what the offense was planned around, who was, if you talked about the Dallas Cowboys 3 years ago, it was about, oh, look at that offensive line and Zeke Elliott. That offensive line and Zeke Elliott, if you let them get going, I remember them specifically coming up here playing Pittsburgh in a sloppy game. And I'm like, man, this dude, Zeke Elliott, is out here running amok on people. You look at it 3 years later. Do you think the Cowboys regret the contract? And where do you see Zeke Elliott's worth, or what his place is in this offense if the Cowboys want to get to the place they want to go?
Okay. I'm going to break it down to you and I'm going to be real with you. Zeke last year, losing Dak, hit home, right? Because once Dak went out, all the attention went to Zeke, right? So he had that on his shoulders, right? A young guy to take that kind of weight on his shoulders. He fumbled the ball. That all started to play mentally in his mind, right? Did Zeke have a terrible last year? No, you can't. If you look at his numbers, he still put up over 1,000 yards last year.
Yeah, he did.
He did. So was he as bad as people? And people are saying, "Oh, he's fat." Excuse me, but if you saw his, when he lifted his shirt, he still had his six pack, and you could still see that "feed me" tattoo. No, he wasn't fat last year. I think he wasn't as explosive and as he was in his previous years. But I don't know if you saw the videos that he's putting out of his workout. He looks slim. He looks hungry. He looks more motivated. He seems more focused. I think Zeke is going to have a bounce back year this year. And I think Dak has his whole squad fired out. Our offense, I'm not worried. I could honestly say if somebody was to tell me, are you worried about your offense this year? I'm not worried about our offensive line. I just want our offensive line to stay healthy. That's all I'm asking for. If our offensive line stays healthy, our offense will be explosive this year. We have so many weapons.
You guys, I mean, from just from the skill positions, the reason I really like, I watch the Cowboys and I watch what they have. They remind me a lot of the Browns when it's in terms of the skill positions. They got Dak Prescott, they got Zeke Elliott, they got you got Amari Cooper, you got CD Lamb, you got what's the other third? I'm missing another guy who's
Gallup.
Gallup. They have him.
You know what? You know who you should go watch tape on? And I want to big shout out to Jay Tuck, who's in the chat right there. Go watch tape on Semi. That new receiver we picked up. Yeah. I've been watching tape on him, and you know what? I see if Gallup doesn't, I see Gallup becoming trade bait next year, and this kid is going to be his replacement. He reminds me a lot of Dez. Sorry, Jay. I know you don't like hearing that, but he reminds me a lot of Dez. But
what
definitely,
up, what's good, man?
Yeah, definitely go check out tape on him. Thanks to those guys, Jay Tuck, BJ Nix, and Spoonie put me onto him, and I'm like, woof, yeah, he's definitely going to be a difference maker this year, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing him as well. Like I said, our offense is wow this year.
It's there. You got to, when you're sitting. I think that a big blow was your center. He comes out and he has to retire because of a issue, a medical issue. Tyron Smith. He hasn't been as healthy. You guys are rotating tackles and guys in there.
Yeah,
I think it's a big. When you watch the Cleveland Browns and people say, when did the Cleveland Browns just all of a sudden get good? If you're watching it in Cowboy Nation, the Cleveland Browns got good because they started having the best offensive line in the game. They put Joe Patonio in there. You got J.C. Treader. You went and got Conklin on the right side. You then drafted on the left side and you also found who's probably one of the best offensive linemen in the game is Teller, who grades out at a 92, 93% on Pro Football Focus. You get Jedrick Wills. You draft him out of Alabama. Now all of a sudden you don't have that same issue with Baker Mayfield and Happy Feet and different things like that. Now your running game is up and going, and now you can run the play action stuff. For me, when I see the Cowboys, I always say that they would be the most potent if you had to stop Zeke, right? You couldn't just let Zeke get going, right? And then Dak is good enough with those receivers on the outside that now when they run and play action, it's a problem. Now you guys are running free. And to me, that is the recipe, because when Zeke is moving like that, it's tough. It's just tough. You got to stop the run, man. You got to.
I'm really looking forward to seeing what Dak does this year, because like I said, because of the weapons we have, teams are not going to know who to adjust to. Because if you double Cooper, guess what? You're leaving CeeDee Lamb, you're leaving Gallup open, and then you got Zeke in the back. There's so much, we're so versatile this year going into the season that I'm really curious to see. Our offensive is going to be putting up numbers. Our defense, which is still an issue, is what I'm worried about this year. Again, I'm worried about our secondary. I'm worried about the safety position. I want Jalen Smith. I definitely want him to have a better year this year. I want D-Law to step up this year. But there's a lot of guys that I'm just Van Der Esch, I need him to stay healthy. There's so much holes in our defense still right now that we need to address. And I'm just hoping that we can adjust and do what we got to do, man. And just to let you guys, please, I see some guys in the chat. Bam Bam Bigelow saying that Cowboys are going 9-8. That's not happening. Joseph 7-10. That's not happening.
We're gonna get them up there too.
You know what? I called it last night. I had a 1980 on the show. I called 12-5.
You got 12. So 12-5. So we got Bam Bam Bigelow in the chat saying they're going 9-8. We got a 7-10 from Joseph Cologne. We got an 11-6. Action Jackson. We got 11-6 in this joint.
Yeah, big shout out to Action Jackson, man. Always tuning in. Great supporter, man. Big shout out to him. He's got 11-6. I'm curious to see who. Listen, I have us. I'll be honest. I'll tell you who I have us losing at.
Let's go ahead and pull that schedule up. Then let's go ahead and pull the schedule up and get to it a little bit. Let's work through this schedule a little bit in terms of going through this.
Stay off the ball. It's all good, Joseph, man. It's all good. Joseph, at the end of the season, man, you definitely got to come on my show where I can say I told you so.
Hey, tell him you gotta pull up. That's how we do.
Yeah, you gotta pull up, man.
Gotta pull up. All right, so let's run through this first game of the season. See, I need y'all to do a little work right here. I need y'all to do some work for me, man. Come on, man. Come on.
All right. So first game, Bucks, Tampa Bay. For me, it's 50-50, but I'll definitely say we're gonna take an L that game.
So let's go. So you first game of the season, August 5th, 8 p.m. You got this at Pittsburgh. Thoughts on that game?
Oh, we're talking about preseason.
Yeah, well, that's in the preseason.
Those are all preseason. The first 4 games, those are all preseasons.
Okay, let's start with let's get to you. You're right. We don't care about that then.
We don't care.
Let's get to the Buccaneers at Tampa Bay, 8:20 p.m. game. What you got for that?
I got us catching an L that game.
Okay.
You know what? The only way I see us winning that game again is if we got to put pressure on Brady. We got to keep putting him on his ass. But I think we're going to also – we always play against the refs when it comes to Brady. I'm sorry to say it, Brady's protected by the refs, and I think we're going to have a lot of these young guys that are going to go in and be eager to hit him, and we're going to get stupid penalties, and I think that's what's going to end up hurting us. So definitely I catch us taking an L that game. I apologize, guys, but that's the way I see it.
Here's the thing. The Cowboys or the Browns didn't get no favors the first week. Now, you guys got to go to at Tampa Bay, right?
Yep, exactly.
First game back, Dak is coming back. The first game of the season for the Browns is a 4:25 kickoff in Arrowhead. First game of the year. And that's a game most people are looking at saying, "Ooh, that's a rough one, bro. We called a tough one in that one." Now, for us, we're looking at it as a barometer. Like, look, the Browns have enough talent, but when you got 9 potential new starters on defense, you don't know how they're going. Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes in September is lit. It just is what it is. The stat people don't recognize and understand is since becoming a starter, Patrick Mahomes is 10-0 in September. He has thrown over 30 touchdown passes and no interceptions in that month with Andy Reid. That just goes to show you how good they are, especially being at Arrowhead. It's going to be a bunch of people there. COVID restrictions will be lifted. That place will be on fire. That's going to be a tough game to go into. Even if the Browns do go into that game, right, and they're competitive in it, we have enough talent. We're not scared of those guys. We competed with them last year with less talent. But could you foresee the Browns losing that game? Yeah, of course. You're not going to chalk that up as no win. I kind of see that as the same with the Buccaneers.
In the playoffs, I saw something about Mahomes that I didn't notice before. He can't handle pressure. He went for negative 500 yards in the Super Bowl because he couldn't handle the pressure. I saw him throwing the ball stupidly. Obviously, they had some of their offensive key guys injured, but I'm wondering if other teams notice that hole and they're going to take advantage of it. I think if you guys put pressure on him, he's not a good person. He's not good under pressure.
I said that when we were watching the playoff game. I said, look, if you want to sit back and play zone and let Patrick Mahomes do what he want to, he's gonna dice you. He's
gonna pick you apart. Yeah. He's gonna pick you apart.
So what you might as well go down swinging. You might as well bring some pressure. The goal is to see if the Browns can cover in the back end with the new secondary we have. They got some nice pieces, and to see if that athleticism up front with Clowney and Myles Garrett really helps out in terms of getting him off his spots.
Are you saying that you guys are going to lose that game to Kansas City?
That's a toss up to me. To me, if the Browns come out of that game and they win that game, that is very impressive. That's very impressive, given the fact that they got 9 new starters and it's on the road, the first game of the year. Now, offensively, the Browns should score points. They can score points with anybody, in my opinion, given that. But that's a game I'm not going. You can't just chalk no win up in Arrowhead. Like they don't lose like that. So, but I think it's a toss-up game. I think they got a good shot to come out with a win, but I wouldn't be surprised if they lost.
Christopher Lester said it. I believe, like I said, if Kansas City's O-line is healthy, you guys are in trouble.
Yeah. Like, so,
so you got to be, definitely. That's why I'm being realistic with Brady too. Tampa Bay re-signed their whole squad, bro.
Yeah,
it's the first time in many years that any team, the whole squad re-signed. So
I'll tell you, they got everybody back. Brady's back. They got the whole squad. The band is back doing their thing, and they're ready to go. But we move on. Like, we move on to the second game of the season, and these games are where I really start to think that your schedule fits the same with the Browns. You look at week 2, you're at San Diego. You guys, that's supposed to be a win. That's going to be dub.
I'll be honest with you right now, going all the way up until our bye week, we're going to be 5-1.
And we're looking at and so you're looking at Cowboys second game, Cowboys at Chargers 425 kick. Cowboys should win that game.
Then we got Philly, that's a rebuild. They're rebuilding. That's a win
at home. That's a dub. The Panthers, Yeah, you know,
That's a dub.
that's a win. And you
Yeah.
guys are at home 3
But you know
weeks
what?
in a
Here's
row.
what worries me about the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys play better on the road than they do at home.
That is true. Here's why. Everybody gives you your best shot in Dallas, right?
Mhm.
Everybody gives you
Because everybody wants to play. That's
everybody want to play y'all like that at home too.
exactly.
And
They want to
Jerry's
beat us at home. Yeah, exactly. But I have us. I definitely get us beating Carolina, New York coming to Dallas. I have us getting a W there.
Mhm.
And New England's rebuilding right now. They don't really have a strong receiving core. I'm curious to know how their QB is going to do. I believe they picked up Mac Jones.
Yes, they did. They did. Yeah, Mac Jones. He might be starting by then.
I don't think he'll be by then. Yes, because I think Cam Newton is gonna struggle, and I think definitely by then. But I don't think again they'll be. I think we'll beat New England. So I have us up until our bye week. I have us at 5-1.
So you know, I kind of look at if you go to the Browns schedule. And kind of just taking a look at it, it's the same way. We start off 425 at Kansas City. We got the Texans at home. Then we come back with the Bears at home. We got to go to at Minnesota. Then we're at the Chargers, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think the only game that gives you a little hiccup is the game where I'll sit up and look because the Browns. I think the Cardinals will be pretty good this year. The Cardinals are going to come to Cleveland on the 17th. That's a 4:05 kick. But the Browns have more talent than the Cardinals. They should win that game. And I don't think our schedule starts to really get to a point where, okay, now we're talking about what we're going to breed and how we go.
You guys have a tough schedule.
I think we got a tough schedule, and our schedule gets tough at the end of the season. Right.
Yeah.
I think our schedule gets tough at the end of the season. We go in terms of looking at what we're doing.
Are you talking about Baltimore from Baltimore on?
Yeah, I'm talking about Baltimore on. So I think we go Baltimore, and then we got a bye week 13. Then we come back and do Baltimore again. Right. Yeah. We got the Raiders December 19th. Then we go to the at the Packers. Right. You got you also have at the Steelers at that time. So,
Green Bay. Do you think Aaron Rodgers is going to be their QB?
That's a really great segue. I think that the people they're underestimating what Aaron Rodgers is willing to do. I just don't believe he's going to just somehow be like, okay, I'm going to come back. Like, you know, he has enough money.
He's not happy there.
No, he has enough. Like it's not like he's one of those guys that doesn't have money. Like he's been getting bags for years. Like it's not like he's just saying, well, you guys are, I just don't like you because of this. He's saying, bro, you drafted a dude to come take my position, and then I went and got the MVP. No, I'm gonna show you how this is moving. I'm not playing for you no more. And they're scrambling, trying to and then they drafted a defensive player this year.
But you know what? He might also go because Jeopardy really liked him as a host.
I wouldn't be surprised, bro.
You know, and if they offer him a good enough amount of money where he's like, you know what?
He's going to play again. He can weather the storm. Here's the thing. People don't think that he could do something like that. I could foresee him going and be like, look, let me do Jeopardy for like a week. Let me get this bag. I'm not poor. And you just leave Green Bay out to dry. Then you got to deal with Devontae Adams. Is he happy? It's just like people and here's the way I think about it. People get too smart and hung up. This is the way that business people start thinking. They start thinking that, oh, it's all about succession planning. It's all about lining the organization up for 20 years. Bro, this is sports. You don't line nothing up for 20 years. You go out there and you leave everything you got on that field until you don't have the pieces or parts, and then you go through your rebuilding and take your lumps just like the rest of us. Like, stop thinking that you can just get over that process. Like, well, we just reload. No, every other team in the league, when you got quarterbacks, you guys have just been lucky enough in the Packers to have Aaron Rodgers and then have Brett Favre before him. The 49ers has Montana and Steve Young.
Yep.
But guess what? They've been looking for guys ever since, right? Garcia and some of these, and Garoppolo, and you've been looking ever since. So in terms of your division, somebody brought this up right here. He said Nana Raven 8 says Dallas is also in a very weak division. I think this, do you think this helps you out a lot? When you look at that division, I think you could be 500 and win that division, right? You know, the division.
You know what? I see us. We're going to win the NFC East this year. You know, a lot of people. Well, the media thinks Washington's going to repeat for some odd reason. But am I worried about Washington? No, they got Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick's he's a hit and miss, right? It's either he comes out and he balls out, or he's just atrocious. You know what I mean? So. Am I worried about Washington? Washington defense is on point. Don't get me wrong.
They're crazy. Their defensive line, their defensive line probably is, I want to say, top 3. Because they're Sweat and Chase, and then Allen and they nice.
Yeah,
they're nice.
Their defense is definitely on point. But again, their offense has to step up. Fitzpatrick has to. I don't. If you look at Fitzpatrick's been on. We looked at it yesterday. I think he's been on like 12 teams, bro. Like, you know, that says a lot about this guy. You know, where teams don't want to keep you, there's something wrong. So, and he's not any younger anymore. He's old. He's an older guy. He didn't do really well last year, and I don't think he'll do any better this year. So, am I worried about Washington? No. Am I worried about the Giants? No. Daniel can't even run without stumbling over his own feet. The only person I'm worried about the Giants is honestly Saquon Barkley. I'm curious to see how he's going to come back after that major injury. So, but again, that's going to play with his mind, and I don't think he's going to come out the gate like crazy. I think it's going to take him a while to get back into that groove. So I'm not worried about New York. And Philly, like you said earlier, they're in a rebuild. They have so many issues over there.
Yeah, they're rebuilding. I mean, Jalen. I'll be surprised if they see with Jalen Hurts.
They got that wide. They got Smith, that wide receiver. They got Jalen.
Yep.
They got who else is over there?
They got they got it. They got holes. They got they have a nice.
What's that other receiver that they had? But I haven't heard if he's coming back or playing for them. What's his name again? He had a few injuries last year.
I don't know.
If somebody remembers in the chat, please let me know. But he had an injury last year, and then he came back. And
you ain't talking about Alshon Jeffrey. I don't think Alshon Jeffrey is still in the squad there, is he? We'll see. Let me know who we're talking about if you're listening in the chat.
Christopher Lester said at 9 teams when he's expected to start, Fitzpatrick is awful. Yeah, see, there you go. That's it. So I have Dallas definitely winning the division this year. Our division, listen, is Dallas the best team in our division going on paper right now? 100%.
I'll give you that. There's not. See, here's the thing. It's all about being. And someone says this, and this is the thing we talked about. Night Coffee says, how did the Cowboys address their defense in this offseason? We talked about Micah Parsons a little bit. To me, it all boils down to the defense. That's it. The Cowboys, if you're an objective person that watches the game and watches football, we all know that the Cowboys have a damn good offense when it comes to the skill positions. The two things that I'm worried about the Cowboys are, can you protect up front? Is your offensive line going to be together and healthy? And can you stop the run? They had Don Terry Poe last year. They had a lot of other guys. They had I think it's Jalen Smith, the linebacker. They have athleticism, right? Gregory, they have athleticism. It's about, can you stop the run and able to do that? And I think that is going to show whether or not the Cowboys are a team that's going to be able to compete and I say the Packers, if Aaron Rodgers plays.
Night Coffee, just to answer your question, the Dallas Cowboys, we need to stay healthy. Even our defenses guys. LVE has to stay healthy. Jalen Smith needs to be there and more focused. Last year, what happened to us? There was too many schemes. It was a different scheme. Jalen Smith was throwing all over the place. Guys, you got to keep that in mind. So Quinn, I think, is going to come in. He's already making some big moves. If you look at the draft, we went after 6 defensive players.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So our first 6 picks were defensive players, and that was all Dan Quinn. I don't care what anybody says. Dan Quinn was the one who, made those picks. I mean, round 3, I was confused about, but besides that, I like what I'm seeing so far. I think we have our secondary. I think Diggs is going to have a breakout year this year. Jordan Lewis is going to do his thing. We just need everybody to gel. That's what we have to gel this year. That's what's going to have to happen. I'm curious to see what's going to happen in training camp.
Yeah, I think there's a couple teams where I got them in that same tier in the NFC, where they have really good offensives. Like when you talk about the Vikings and you talk about the Falcons, those teams are kind of in that mix with the Cowboys, where you say, wow, they got ball players. They got guys on the outside. They got running backs. They got guys that can catch the football and do their thing. But it just boils down, can you stop anybody? And even I think that when you look at the Buccaneers, I think Godwin just signed his I think he got franchised. But when you talk about them, I think that's a situation where the only reason I have them a little bit higher on that level with the Packers is because I think they can get after you defensively. They got speed. They can do a lot of different things. But even when you look at Tampa Bay put it together late. Tampa Bay wasn't a team that came out the chutes that were dominating. I saw those guys, Tampa Bay, lose a lot of games and not look good, period. So when you take a look at it, where do you have the pecking order in the NFC in terms of the teams, and where do you think the Cowboys kind of fit in that pack?
You mean overall?
Yeah, overall, because I think you guys will win the division. We will.
We're going to win the division. Hands down. I'm not saying we won't. Dallas Cowboys going to win the division. Washington's going to be second. Giants third, and Philly fourth.
And so we'll give you. So in terms of the AFC team or NFC teams, if you now you're ranking teams in terms of Super Bowl contenders or playoff contending teams, who do you have at the top of the food chain in terms of the NFC and working your way down? And where do you think the Cowboys are in that positioning?
The Cowboys will make the playoffs. Do we have a chance to win the Super Bowl this year? Realistically, like if I'm not being, I'm being realistic, I don't see us going to the Super Bowl this year. I really don't. We're a lot. I think we have the youngest, and please correct me if I'm wrong. I think we have the youngest team in the NFL right now.
One of the youngest teams. I think it's a top 5. I think actually the Browns are kind of in that same vein too. A lot of guys under the age of 20. See, young is a relative thing. You're looking at 27 and below, 26 and below. A lot of teams look at when you say football, he's younger. But yeah, you guys have one of the younger squads in the game. I think to get to you where you want to go, and I didn't put the Browns. See, for me, I didn't put the Browns in wouldn't have put them as a Super Bowl contender until they made certain moves. You go get John Johnson, and he's the number 1 rated safety that was on the board. You get Troy Hill, who's the number 1 slot corner who was on the board. You go get you replace a lot of guys on the right hand side opposite Myles Garrett. You get Takk McKinley, a former first round pick. You get Clowney, which we've been looking to see. And even people in Cleveland, to be truthful, Clowney was not. I was jumping up and down for him from the top of the mountains because I could understand what it is that they like in seeing him. I think people get caught up in the splash stuff, but he can play the run. And the athleticism upgrades that we needed is needed to play quarterbacks that we want to play Josh Allen. in Buffalo, we got to play Lamar Jackson 2 times a year. We want to obviously get past Patrick Mahomes. We needed to upgrade our defensive speed, team speed, in order to play multiple positions and to bring that. So that's what you go out and get those guys for a specific reason. So I think what sets teams apart is not the offensive stuff, because I think there's 20 teams that can score offensively on anybody. It's just about defensively. How many stops can you get more than
stopping the run this year? But you know what? Years ago, I don't know if you'll agree with me. Years ago, it used to be more of a running game, right? Mm-hmm. But now I think like a lot of, it's shifted. It's 50-50 now. And then a lot of times it's more of a passing game, right? Mm-hmm. And another thing I'm really starting to notice is that a lot of these QBs are they're more runners. They're running the ball a lot more as well. So it's not like a QB used to sit in the pocket, adjust and throw or take a sack or throw the ball away. No, now some of these QBs are Lamar Jackson, crazy. Like don't give him open field, because he'll go and get that touchdown if he needs to. Mahomes, same thing.
Mahomes, Burrows, even
Russell
the
Wilson
guys. Even the guys that look like statues can run. Joe Burrow is athletic. Josh Allen is athletic.
What's that kid in Arizona? Murray. Kyler Murray. Super explosive. So that the game has changed a lot. So defensively, it's important. You got to hold your defense, do your job. You know what? I'm gonna say it, and the Cowboys Nation is gonna hate me, but D-Law needs to go out there and earn his damn check.
DeMarcus Lawrence, that's another high-paid guy.
He's very high-paid. Don't get me wrong. If you look at tape last year, a lot of teams didn't run his route, run towards him. He's a run. He's still explosive. But I just want to see more from him this year. And just to touch on something that D. Wright said, I think the Cowboys should be scared of the Giants. They beefed up that offensive tremendously. They could beef up their offense, but their QB is garbage. Daniel Jones, the Giants fans lost their minds when you guys drafted him. So is he a good QB? No. I saw a lot of holes with him. He's another one. He can't even run properly. He's about to run to the end zone and stumbles over his own damn feet. So, am I worried about the Giants? No, I'm not.
I think I think when you look at it, I think that when it comes down to it, when you start looking at those games, Seattle's another team too that's in that middle ground. Yes. It's about who progresses. These middle ground teams like Minnesota, you got Seattle, you got teams like the Cowboys are in this area. The Falcons for me are in this area. Teams like that need to definitely show love and see like, okay, we just need a couple of defensive players here. If we can find a couple of defensive dudes, just a few.
I think Dallas is allergic to like safeties. I have no idea.
Shout out to Rosie B for the super chat. We appreciate you as always. Appreciate you for the super chat. MSTO 1987 says, if you play quarterback and you're the best, your best ability isn't throwing the ball, you're playing the wrong position. Now, here's the thing. That's why we talk about the Ravens, right? To me, when you look at the Browns and where they want to go, it comes down to it's the middling guys, right? The middling guys are the teams that you have to beat. Like, I think you could throw Indianapolis in that mix. I think you can throw Baltimore is the same level as the Browns. I think the Bills are the same level as the Browns. I think the Colts may be just a little bit lower. The Raiders are just a tiny bit lower. I think the Dolphins may be on. I think the Dolphins are going to have a down year. I think they're going to take a step back, and I think.
You think?
Yeah, I think they'll take a step back. I'm not sure. I'm not sold on Tua. I don't know if they can get him to play without the turnovers, it'll work, right? I just want him to see him not throw too many interceptions. He turns the ball over a lot. And then the wild card.
Are you guys playing them this year? Because we're not.
No, we don't play them.
You're not either. So we're both not playing them.
So I'm looking, but here's a team that I think is scary-ish. Now the Patriots upgraded a lot of their positions. If Cam Newton can be 80% of what the old Cam Newton can be, and they can run him and they can do some things and he can get the system, I think New England will probably be a 500. They could win double-digit games.
I'm curious. Week 4, they're playing New England versus Tampa Bay.
That's a game.
That's a
game. And plus, here's the thing too with Tampa Bay. I always think about it like this: there's always it's always a Super Bowl hangover. It's always a Super Bowl hangover.
Yeah. Philly. Look what happened to Philly.
Yeah,
they won the Super Bowl, and the year after,
it's hard keeping up that momentum. Tom Brady is a hard dude. He drives his guys hard. He's keeping everything, in his mind in terms of keeping all of that running. And it's hard to get. Let's go to this really quickly. I wanted to throw this out here and see what you think. For you, what are the most intriguing games on your schedule? Most intriguing games for you on the schedule where you say, man, I'm interested in watching that. Maybe it could be a matchup that you guys don't get often, or maybe it could be a matchup where you're like, that's a trap game. I don't know if I like that one. Right? Well,
I can tell you the games that I'm worried about. Definitely, I'm worried about Tampa Bay. I'm worried about Minnesota. I'm worried about Atlanta, because Atlanta last year, everybody's like, oh, yeah, we're going to beat them. Yeah, but remember something. We struggled against Atlanta last year. And the only reason why we end up losing that game is because Atlanta forgot what the onside kick rules were. And
I remember that.
Right? They I don't know, they had a brain fart or something, because they all forgot what the rules were. And we ended up recovering an onside kick and kicking a field goal to win in that game. Do I think Atlanta's going to come back with they're angry, right?
Yeah.
You know, so and they just picked up, listen, they have Ridley, Samuel, they just got that Kyle Pitts.
Yeah.
Listen, you know,
you got Julio Jones.
You got Julio Jones. So they have weapons just as much as we do. Again, it's going to come down to our defense. So that's a game I'm worried about. I think Washington, we're going to win one, we're going to lose one. And I have us losing to Arizona. Kyle Murray, listen, they should have they made it really far last year. They lost in the playoffs, and I think they're going to come back with a vengeance this year. So Kyle Murray that's Arizona Cardinals are a team to look out for this year. So those are the games that I'm worried about.
If we go to the Cleveland side, there's a couple of games that I've already. Obviously, it's the Chiefs week 1. We talked about that early in the show.
I said the Chiefs too, right? I believe I said the Chiefs. Yeah, I said we're losing against. Kansas City
Chiefs week 1, right?
Yeah.
I'm a little curious about this game. I think Minnesota, like you mentioned, I think Minnesota is going to be good. I mean, if they can get their defense back to where it was, where they had one of the stronger defenses in the league, but they got Thielen, they got Cook, they got Justin Jefferson, who is probably the best rookie. One of the better top 2 rookies in the league last year. We're playing in the dome. We're going at Minnesota. That's a tough game. Like
tough game. Yeah,
tough game. That's a tough game. Cardinals. We got the Cardinals at home October 17th. That's my brother's birthday. Shout out to my brother Bryson, by the way. We got them on the 17th. We got them at home, but they got, I said it before, they got a 2010s all-star team. They got they got Larry Fitzgerald, they got DeAndre Hopkins. They still got.
Did you remember that catch last year from Hopkins?
Oh yeah. They got AJ Green. He just came over.
If he stays healthy.
If he stays healthy, right?
If he stays healthy, another one. Listen, Action Jackson said Arizona got a belt with their name on it from last year.
I'll tell you what, Arizona beat us they beat us in 2019 when we went out there. Kyler Murray. They even got, what's the name? They got JJ Watt. They turned around and got JJ Watt this year. So we got them at home. Browns got more talent. I think the Browns should be able to win that game, but that's a game that I'm looking at. I don't chalk no Pittsburgh games up, especially at Pittsburgh. We kind of like got the monkey off our back with beating them in the playoffs. But there's always a chance that they can come out here and do their thing. I told people, I've been on record saying the Pittsburgh Steelers is not going to be trash. I think they'll be 500. They can win 8-9 games next year. And of course, the Ravens is a splittable series.
Yeah.
But that's a splittable game as well. But then you take a look at it. December 25th, Christmas Day at the Packers, hard, tough game. The Raiders beat us last year. The Raiders always play us tough. That's the week before that. And obviously at Baltimore, November 28th, that's a primetime game, 8:20. So those are the games for me that are looking like they could be something to worry about in terms of what we need to do.
I want to just comment, D Wright, man, please do me a favor. I need you to come subscribe to my channel, man, and come in my chats, because when the season starts, I got to have you in my chat and just show you how wrong you are about the Dallas Cowboys going into the season. Now, if we're talking about the last couple of seasons, 100%, I'll give it to you. We struggled. And that's another thing that people aren't taking into a factor. We had a new coach. We had pretty much our whole coaching squad changed last year. You know what I mean? So, and we had a lot of injuries, and nobody's looking at that. Everybody's looking at the Dallas Cowboys because, we them boys and America's team, but you know what? I don't want to hear any of that stuff anymore, to be honest with you. I just want the Dallas Cowboys to be looked at as an NFL team who's coming out to do what they need to do and forget all that hype up. BS.
I think here's the crazy part about it is and I'll give this to you. If you guys got any questions that you want to give, put those in the chat. We'll ask Syd his questions in terms of the Cowboys, and we'll get your questions out here if you guys want to do that. We got about 8 minutes left into the broadcast. Get those questions out here. Please do that.
Please post before you say what you're gonna say. Please post that thing about Nana. She said Zeke Elliott needs to earn his check, running around with a cutoff shirt like he's still in college. I totally agree. He does. And I said it earlier, and I don't know if you were in the chat. Zeke, what happened last year to Zeke and the whole media attention that he's gotten and the whole negativity, I think you'll see a big difference from Zeke, and I think he will go out and earn his paycheck definitely this year.
You see, here's the thing. You got a lot of every football team has one of them, right? For every Zeke Elliott, we got Odell Beckham Jr., right? So we got a guy who people just now, I'm a guy who's I'm an OBJ fan. Just ask with the Cowboys what he can do to help win games. I mean, he pretty much won the game last year in that game when it was getting tight. But there's a certain level of understanding. Hey, you got to you get $14.5 million, bro, and you're injured. You're injured a lot. So when you're doing that and you're talking about a receiver, this is a make or break year. We got a lot of guys on this roster with a make or break year. So when we looking at that situation, man, my man, hey, you know what did we say?
Yeah.
I said, I got you, bro. Pull up.
Yeah, he's subscribing. I appreciate
subscribing now,
guys,
man.
Believe it or not, I have a lot of subscribers that aren't even Dallas Cowboys fans. I have Eagles, I have New York Giants guys, and they all come in and they troll, and I love it, man. Bring it, because it adds, for me, I accept anybody who wants to come and chat up and while I'm doing my live stream, man. And guys, Bush, I wanted to tell you about this as well. Sunday, I have a huge stream coming off. I have Philly Notion from the Philadelphia Eagles coming on the show. I got big, what's his name? From a Washington blogger. Okay. I have a New York Giants blogger and myself, and we're going live. NFC East rivalry coming on the show. It's going to be hype. You guys definitely got to come check it out. It's going to be definitely. That.
Make sure you go check that out. I'm going to be on. I'm tuning in for that one. I'm
going to send you the information. We're even going to have the link open. We're going to have people dropping in and talking to us and asking questions. Definitely come and check that out because it's going to be hot, man.
I always say, man, that's what it's about, man. It's about, football's, why football's great is because we can get two guys with nothing seemingly in common. Don't even know. Look, people don't even know you in Canada right now. You in Canada right now, bro.
Yep. Montreal, Canada, man.
And
we have fans over here, man. We're NFL. Well, in Canada, hockey's the biggest thing, right? But there is our little clique out here that's big NFL fans, and we love it. That's why I do what I do, man, because I want to represent for Canada and show that it's not just NFL is not just an American sport. It's also I want us to get a team, but they used to come out here and play in Toronto, which is about 5 hours from here. We had a few NFL games come out here, and for some reason it just stopped. So I like it to come back because it was definitely interesting.
Man, let me let me give you this, and we'll give you the story. By the way, we're gonna have my man, him and Jay Tuck. They forgot about it. They forgot about it. I got a music show called Top 5, bro.
Top 5, man.
Top 5.
I'm coming on that, man.
We gonna have both of y'all on Top 5, man. We got some stuff, but actually we got a trailer dropping here in about 2 weeks. We starting a brand new season. And we're gonna have people on, and so when you come on Top 5, man, if you can beat some of the hosts, everybody who comes on can get $100 cash prize. So now we done amped it up. If you could come on Top 5 and you could beat one of the hosts and see who's in the Top 5, the consensus, man, we're gonna give $100 away. We're gonna have that. They're gonna get a prize pack. So shout out to those guys, because you told me last year, you was like, listen, hey, I'll come on your little football joint, but get me on that music joint.
Yeah, Top 5 I know my old school, man. I love my old school, man. I love my old school. So I'm ready. I got my Top 5 already selected, bro.
Like, they came on auditioning. Listen, Jay was like, nah, but listen, let me tell you about this dude. What about this mixtape? I was like, bro, I told my brother, I was like, bro, these dudes are really on this hip hop thing, bro. They really doing the hip hop thing, man. We got a couple minutes here. Tell people where they can find your stuff, how they can subscribe, in every different places that you guys are out there and representing Cowboy Nation, my G.
Yeah, man, definitely, man. Again, thanks for having me on the show. Thanks for everybody in the chat, Cowboy haters, Cowboy lovers, everybody who was asking those questions, man. I take it all. Bring it. It's like food to me, right? Feed me. I'm like, feed me all that negativity, man. I'll take it. You know what? I'll always stand by my team. Dallas Cowboys. I've been a Dallas Cowboys fan for over 15 years. My dad was a big Dallas Cowboys fan. May his soul rest in peace. Guys, November 14th, your boy Syd is going to Dallas to the Atlanta game, because that's going to be on my birthday, November 14th. And
shut up. You know my birthday is the 14th, right?
Of what?
The November, we got the same birthday. Scorpios in the building.
Let's get it, man. Let's get it. Yes.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Right.
So I'm going to Dallas. It's gonna be my first time in Dallas seeing any NFL game, to be honest with you. And I'm gonna go stand on that star and point out to my pops, man, because he's the reason why I love this team and why I do this, man. I know he's looking down and he's smiling, man, seeing how much love I have for this team. But definitely come check me out. My YouTube channel, Dallas Cowboys, the number 4 life. My Twitter is SydDC for life. Also the number 4. Instagram is the same thing. And go check me out on Facebook, Syd Hogan. Add me, and I accept everybody as friends. And I'll add you guys to my Dallas Cowboys for life page on my Facebook as well, man. Subscribe. Guys on my channel who are watching as well, who are going to be watching this after, go check out G.Bush, man. Garrett Bush, love his channel, love his stuff, and definitely go subscribe to his Top 5. Guy, when I told you, when I first saw that, I'm like, man, am I watching MTV?
You're like, is this MTV? This is great. I totally appreciate that, man.
The full setup, man. Your brother, big shout out to your brother, man. We did that stream with him previously, and then he was sick when we were supposed to do the after game chat that we lost you guys, and I was so upset. But we nearly won. We nearly came back.
You did come back.
We came back.
Was looking crazy.
And I was ready to write you, bro. I had my phone on my thumb. And then we were like,
I hope EJ done went to the house.
I appreciate you having me on, man. We're going to do this. I want to do this throughout the season, man.
Oh no, just not the first time. And we welcome, and you tell your people, get your people to come on over, and we might do that as well too. Like get your Washington Redskin people, all your NFC East people. You meet somebody, we can do it. We bring it on, man. So definitely, man.
J Tuck, if he's still watching, we gotta do J Tuck. You gotta meet BJ Nix and Spoonie. Those guys are also great. Cowboy fan 1980, man. He's insane too. Nana, I don't know who you're talking to. You're so cool. But if it's to me, I appreciate that. Go sub up to my channel, Nana. Please. Or Garrett. You know who that is, Garrett? Is that you? I
don't know who that is. But shout out to you, Nana Raven. We appreciate that, man. We appreciate that, man.
We appreciate that so much, man. We love the support. Guys, I do this. I don't do this for money. I don't do this to get any. Listen, I'm at 650 subscribers. I just love doing this because it's fun and I enjoy entertaining people. And whoever wants to come and watch me, come watch me, man. I'm here.
As always, man, we want to thank and support you guys. We want to thank you for tuning in today. Make sure you go check out Syd. Make sure you go check out the Cowboys. Make sure you get ready for this NFL season because guess what? Above anything, we back to being normal. We back to like getting to do what we want to do, and that's supporting our team, and that's communicating and getting together. As always, it's the Barbershop, and we'll salute you. We'll text you next time, babe. Peace.